Hello, and welcome to another edition of Ask the Professor, where we respond to your questions on matters ranging from history and political philosophy to questions of contemporary culture, including why is modern architecture so horrible?
We answered that one, didn't we?
Always ready for another go at it.
Not that you're fishing again.
Feel free to ask.
Here's Lewis, who has a question about, those government programs where they multiply your donations to a particular good cause? If you give $1 to the Red Cross for the relief of some natural event, for instance, it will double your donations. And he's got mixed feelings about this, but he's wondering, what do you think of those programs?
I'm against it because the language of doubling your donation is actually misleading. My donation is just my donation. I believe a cause is valuable. I take $5 out of my own pocket and out of my own life and put it to that cause. And I gain a sense of psychic satisfaction, perhaps. I store brownie points in the next world. It's my judgment as to what I should do with my money. But what the government does is they then would take $5 from another person and put it in. A person who either didn't want to support that cause or already supported it. And when you look at this person and say, well, what a fink, why didn't they want to support that cause? There are any number of possible reasons. They may have other very legitimate demands on their money. They may be supporting other charities. They may have sick relatives to care for. They may be trying to save money so that their children will not one day go and want. Or, it's true, maybe they are not doing the thing that they should. Maybe their life is not as wonderfully moral as, say, mine, or vice versa, awkwardly. But if they're not, is it the business of the government to make them better people? And will it make them better people if the government reaches into their pocket using the coercive power of the state, takes their cash, and gives it to a good cause? Because they didn't choose to give the money. They gave it because the alternative was jail. Are they a better person, or are they perhaps even a worse person, filled with resentment and rage because they have been plundered? I remember when Michael Harrington died. He was a famous American writer, wrote an extremely influential book on poverty called The Other America in the early 1960s. And he was a socialist. And when he died, Edward Kennedy said, I don't call it socialism, I call it the Sermon on the Mount. But if you read the Sermon on the Mount, at no point does Christ say, you should get Caesar to take up the truncheons and the spears, go round some people up, empty their pockets, and give it to things that you think are good. Nowhere in the New Testament will you ever find this. You are commanded to give your own money. That's the meaning of charity. And it's a deed that has to proceed from an appropriate inner state. And as a purely practical matter, if charities were compelled to go not to the government, but to their fellow citizens for money, they'd have to make sure that they were doing the things that people really thought were worthwhile in ways that people understood and sympathized with. So, charity is twice blessed. Coercion is twice cursed. It curses the person who's on the receiving end of it, and it curses the person doing it. So no, I'm all for charitable giving. They say you should give until it hurts, and your pain threshold shouldn't be too low or it doesn't count. But when you're giving away other people's money, you're hurting them, not yourself, and that's not what the expression means. So yes, I'm all for charitable giving. Everybody should try and do more of it. And when we pass the hat, which we do, saying please support our endeavors, go to www.johnrobson.ca and back us, I'm acutely aware that there are other things you could do with your money, from feeding your own family to helping fight cancer or giving to missions that deal with the homeless. I mean, there are all kinds of other very valid things you could do with your money. But if I can't convince you to give a couple of dollars a month voluntarily, I am not going to go to the state and say, Joe has given me $2, go make Jane give me $2. Because that isn't giving, that's stealing. So much as I sympathize with charity, no, I'm absolutely opposed to government using its monopoly on coercive force to take money from people who haven't decided to give and handing it over to somebody else. It's bad for everybody involved.
All right, no gray areas on that one.
Not
Absolutely
even a
all black.
hint of it.
All right, then. Thanks for that. Folks, if you would like to play along and ask your question of the professor, go to the URL on your screen and it will tell you how to proceed. Thanks, and see you next time.